Welcome to the Happy Humanoid's Perspective, where your beliefs are challenged, thoughts provoked, and where you may find your happy place whether you like it or not.
And here are your hosts, Edith and Miles. Woohoo!
Hey, that's me. Welcome everyone to our show. My name is Miles.
And my name is Edith. And we are both Access Consciousness Certified Facilitators.
Yes, we are.
So tonight, I resist to talk about...
Come on, fight the resistance.
Unmasking resistance.
Yep.
This is the title of our show tonight.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting topic. I think, it's fascinating.
Mm-hmm. What fascinates you about that?
Yeah, it was show number 33, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, okay, first it's like, what is resistance? Like, we all have our idea and we know what resistance is, and the ideas of, with Access, they talk about align and agree or resist and react to. And we're going to talk about maybe a kind of the same thing, but maybe a different, more focus on resistance. And resistance, it's like this energy that is present whenever we choose something beyond this reality. The resistance is going to be there to greet us happily, to try to stop us. And I say that, and I actually believe that. It's like once we choose something that is beyond this reality, then it's like this reality has this polarity that Gary talks about. It's got the yin and the yang, or the good and the bad, or the right question, the wrong question, the right choice, the wrong choice. Our body has the same thing. You know, we have this balance of the acid or the alkaline in our body, or keeping the oxygen regulated in our blood so there's not too much oxygen, not enough oxygen. That's all this duality. And it's the same thing with choosing something beyond this reality. Like, we have this, if we play within this reality and we play by the rules and choose what's here, what's present, what's available in this reality, then we're fine. There's not much resistance. It's just if we begin to choose outside this reality where the polarity doesn't play, I believe this reality and the energy around this reality is so fixed on keeping things the way they are that it's going to try to resist us from choosing outside this reality. So every time that we choose something beyond what this reality says is possible, what this reality says that you can have in your life, the amount of joy or whatever that you can have in your life, once we choose beyond that, then resistance shows up. It's like it's the warrior for this reality to keep us doing what we normally do, the status quo. And that's our topic for tonight. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Because, there's a lot of energy there for me. So
yeah. yeah. This resistance. Yeah, we're going to talk more about your relationship with resistance and how it is with yourself and how it is inside of you and the dynamic that is inside of you. And we often believe that when there's some kind of resistance inside of us, that it's a sign. Yeah. It's a sign I cannot do something. Mm-hmm. What if it's just, as you said, it's just something that we desire to do that is out of this reality, or that is out of the context of this reality, or it can be to something that we chose in this lifetime, and now we're going somewhere else. We want to go somewhere else, and this resistance is there to tell us, hey, remember, this is what you chose before. So and most of the time, often we're going to believe that if there's resistance, if it doesn't flow, we conclude that we stop there and we don't go further. This kind of resistance, of course, it's invisible. We cannot see it. This is something that is inside of us. It's internal. The good thing is we can ask questions about that. We can, instead of going to conclusion, it's not the time. What if it's about asking question? Is it the time for this? Is it time for me to do this? Is it, I wrote a few questions here. What question can I ask here to get more clarification about this resistance? Or what question can I ask here about that? And if I choose to go with this resistance, what will my life be in 5 years? And if I don't choose this resistance, what will my life be in 5 years? So it's a way to, instead of going to conclusion, asking question to be more aware of what is it. It can be that it's not the time. And it's about asking question and getting the awareness of, or gaining more the awareness of the question you're going to ask to become more aware. And as you said, there is this thing, the resistance as a frequency. And when we want to go beyond this frequency, this is where she will ring. This is where she will appear. Because this resistance, desire to keep us where we are, desire to keep us in a certain level of energy, certain level of frequency. And when we desire something, it's about, it will ring. It will ring, you will receive some kind of sign. And when you're close to something, the resistance will send this energy that behaves like a panic button, panic attack.
Yep.
And I did that so often in my life when it was for, if I wanted to reserve a flight, just before I click on the button to do all, okay, I made all the transaction, it's about click and it's gone, I will have that kind of panic. Yeah, because I'm about doing something that will bring me somewhere in my life, and this resistance as that kind of intelligence, that kind of, that it knows, this resistance knows that we're going somewhere where she could not have control over us, because this is one of the things that that kind of resistance desires to do. It's about keeping the control of us. So everywhere you believe that the resistance is, everywhere you concluded that resistance is a sign that you cannot move forward, that it's not the time for you to move forward, well, you know, and create and destroy it all times a godzillion.
Yes, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pocket, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. I think that's so cool that you personified resistance as a female. That's awesome.
Did I say she?
Oh yeah.
Oh, in French, it's
So,
a
it's
thing.
so sexy. Like I'm fighting against the demon witch or something like that. It's so cool. It's interesting what you say about it's like resistance is also, I've seen this and I do it myself, is like the reason I'm doing this podcast is because I really want to get this myself. So what better way to get it more is to have a podcast about it. Yeah, it's like confusing resistance with the heavy and light tool. Like that's a part that we could sort of hide behind the heavy and light thing, like you were saying, Edith, about if you're choosing something and oh, it feels heavy, or maybe you choose something, like you say, you have something and it's like, yeah, this is what I desire, and then things come up. Resistance steps in and says, oh yeah, you really want that? And then we say, oh, you know, it feels heavy. I don't think I really want to do that. That's not really using the heavy and light tool. You know, it's like more about asking questions. Okay, is this really what I desire? And be truthful with yourself. Okay, truth, is this really what I desire? Or you can say,
Whoop. There's some kind of resistance here. We don't hear you anymore. Something stopped. Okay, I guess I will continue, and when you are back, hey, what happens here? There's something happening here.
are you there?
Yes, you are. Okay, cool.
Interesting. These are brand new batteries and the resistance. This also brings up another factor. It's called the coincidental factor. I just put brand new fresh batteries in this microphone, and it's the coincidental factor when something happens that stops the pursuit of an idea that we're doing. So this is a perfect example of how resistance shows up. So yeah, what I want to say about resistance and like the light and heavy is like asking questions like, okay, truth, is this really what I desire to do? Okay, is it heavy because it's not something that I desire to do, or is it just resistance? Like confusing resistance with the heaviness of like the heavy and light tool. That's one thing that I've noticed. And yeah, so resistance shows up in so many different ways. It's like it can be like self-sabotage, or being the victim, or even like rationalizing something, or like we just happened, the coincidental factors, or procrastination. That's really a big one. Yeah, so everywhere that we're confusing the idea of resistance with heaviness, and it doesn't feel light to do something. Will you destroy and uncreate all that times a godzillion, please?
Sorry.
Resistance, there it
Right,
is.
wrong, good and bad, podcast about all nine shorts, pros and beyond.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you are more powerful. You are the person that is the most powerful in your life. You are the most powerful person in your life. And sometimes we have this kind of idea that the resistance is stronger than us. So it's about asking question, what would it take for me to find back my power? It could be something like this, or everything that doesn't allow me to take my power back, and everywhere I gave my power to this resistance, I uncreate and destroy. So so yeah, it's about, there's always a way to be in relationship with that kind of resistance, and by asking question is one of the way to do it. Because so everywhere you gave away your power to resistance, and all the decision, judgment, conclusion, computation we had about the resistance that is stronger than you are, that you will never be able to come out of it, or you will never be able to outcreate it. Well, you know, uncreate and destroy it all times a godzillion.
Wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, online shorts, boys and beyonds. I'm going to add a clearing with that. What are you holding back from yourself by the resistance you're choosing to keep that real and true? And everything that is, we destroy and uncreate that times a godzillion.
Yes, right and wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, online shorts, boys and beyonds.
Yeah, so interestingly, I was pondering the topic tonight. I was thinking about, now, is resistance, is that linked, is like unhappiness and resistance, how does that dynamic play? Is like, is feeling unhappy like related to resistance? And I was thinking about that. I was like, well, yeah, I guess that's right. And so I just sort of like, yeah, that sounds right. I didn't have any really examples. Like, and then lo and behold, I asked a question, and then I got the awareness. Like I don't know, a little bit after that, I just started feeling really crappy. I was just like, God, what? I feel unhappy. I was like getting depressed. And I was like, God, what happened? I was like going into the wrongness of me. Okay, maybe I should be doing something different today, or maybe I'm not doing what I want to do today, or maybe I'm something in my body that I ate something that was weird, or I didn't ask the question. Like, well, I got the awareness, like, okay, resistance. So I was resistant to something. Then I finally realized, okay, what am I resisting here? I'm resisting something because I'm unhappy. I think that feels right, that if I'm unhappy, there's some resistance there. So I said, okay, what is it that I'm resisting here that I'm not aware of? And then it was like, oh, my body's telling me something. Oh, okay, well, what is that? What is my body saying? It's like, oh, does that even belong to me? So I was like, no, it doesn't belong to me. So immediately I just felt better. I was like, oh, wow, thank you. I just got this great awareness. And what I was resisting was the awareness that I have about my environment, about the people that live in this vicinity, about other people's issues and things that I wasn't acknowledging. And I immediately went to the wrongness of me and how do I need to fix me, you know, and instead of like being aware that I was resisting the allowance, and I was trying to, like, instead of just having the awareness of, oh, this is someone else's stuff, I was like trying to internalize it and make it my own. And then that's where I got caught up in this depression and unhappiness. And I was like, yeah, what happened? So yeah, then once I realized it didn't belong to me, I just returned to sender. And then I was like, wow, that's really cool. This is going to be something I can talk about tonight. So everywhere that we've, let's see, what space of happiness could you be choosing if you would be an allowance and let go of resistance? And everything that doesn't allow that, we destroy and create all that times a gazillion.
Right and wrong, good and bad, puck and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. I received the awareness lately. I gained the awareness of a question that I asked for a few months. And when I received the awareness, I got the awareness of, oh my God, my life will be okay. My life will be fine. And in order to put in place this awareness, I had to take action. And I realized I was resisting. I was resisting, and Miles asked me a great question. So that's a question you can ask yourself.
What is it for dinner? Question?
What's the value of not getting what you desire? And for me, it was, what? And then I went with whatever was available, and all the, I'm gonna say, the shit that came out, like like it was, wow, it was better for me to not do it than doing it, because if I do it, I can fail, I can succeed, it won't work anyway. There was a lot of energies that were there and that I chose in past life, in this lifetime. It doesn't matter. It was there in my energy. And once we cleared that, I was able to be in a space to choose. And it's the other thing, when we are in resistance, the action that can trump anything is choosing. Mm-hmm. I'm choosing to do it. Mm-hmm. And even if I still was in this energy of, it's hard for you to move. I chose to ask question. What would it take for me to have this finish by tomorrow at 2:30? What would it take? And I was so in the present moment and in my desire to have it finished, to have it completed, for me to present it to people, that instead of being in, okay, I wonder if I'm going to be able to do it tomorrow, it was like, no, I'm asking question. This is what I desire. And I was really in this present, as I said, present moment. What would it take for me to finish this? And the morning after, my body woke me up at 5. And I did it. It was like, I was amazed. Sometimes I was stopping and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Just by asking question, I received the energy. I received. The resistance was not there anymore. Mm. So what would it take for you? Sometimes it's good to ask question about this resistance. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's about asking question to what you desire, related to what you desire. What would it take for this for me to create this with ease? So yeah, so everywhere you believe that resistance, you have to clear the resistance for you to choose something else for yourself. Well, and create and destroy it all times a godzillion.
Yes, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and puck, on shorts, boys and beyonds. Because you'll be there forever trying to clear resistance, because it doesn't go away. It's just, and we feed that into it. It's like whatever we believe into it. It's like that quiet voice that if we make a choice and there's like this self-sabotage, or there's this other voice in our head, it could be from entities or demons or someone's, somebody that or whatever. That's all the resistance. That it's real sneaky how it gets in there, and it really pushes us to stay the same. And the more that we choose something greater, and it's going to create more for this changing of this reality, the stronger the resistance is going to be there. I think you said that already. And one of the things that I realize this is kind of like a follow-up from last week's podcast, like being an allowance. This is about resistance and the unmasking the resistance. It's what is the one thing like you said, it's like choosing trumps everything. And what is the space of getting out of resistance? It's being an allowance. So it's like wherever that we're in resistance, it's like, what is required for me to be an allowance here? And maybe you don't know what it is that you're even resistant to. So one thing you can realize that, well, if you're unhappy about anything, or if I'm unhappy about something, I can first say, okay, what am I resisting here that I'm not aware of? And then you can go to this space of, okay, can I be an allowance of myself for choosing this? And not having a point of view about if we made a choice that didn't create something that was greater for us, just being an allowance for us and choose something else. So everywhere that we are creating resistance as this entity bigger than this reality itself and bigger than our potency and allowance itself, we destroy and uncreate all that times a godzillion, please.
Right and wrong, good and bad, puck and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. I'm going to trace like some kind of portrait we talk a bit about it, but I really desired to say that because it will, for me, when I learned that, it was so much easier to deal with it and stop doubting when it was there. So it's like resistance is a force inside of you that repels, that will distract you, that will prevent you from moving forward. It will tell you everything that is necessary to prevent you from succeeding. Mm-hmm. So if you're about success, if you're moving to success, you will have resistance in you, of course. It will perjury. Do we say that, perjury?
I'm not sure. You could say it.
Okay.
I like the way it sounds.
Okay. It will falsify. It will seduct you, and yeah.
That she-devil, that's what it is.
Yeah. It will take any kind of form if it's necessary to fool you. It is always lying. It's, yeah, I said that. It's its nature. It's everything that it knows. The resistance, just no resistance. Doesn't know anything else other than that. Mm-hmm. Does not desire to know you. Is not interested in you. Doesn't know who you are and doesn't care. It's mm-hmm. just about resisting. It's malicious. And we all live that. We all live that kind of internal resistance. Mm-hmm. Its target, it's about your being, your brilliance, your greatness, the priceless gift that you are that nobody else is except you. Yep. So, yeah, desires to attack that, desires to destroy that, because she has to resist. That's the only way for her to continue to live at the same time. So yeah, so everywhere you believe that resistance was true, yeah, will you uncreate and destroy it all times a godzillion.
Right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pocket, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. That's awesome. Yeah, for me, it's so cool to think about that there's this other force out there, like Luke the Force, or something that's against us. It's like, for me, it's almost like motivation. It's like I'm not just out here floundering around with not a direction or whatever, but there's some kind of, it's like I'm using, when I choose to, using the resistance as a way to move forward, because I'm aware that whenever the resistance is there, that I'm getting closer to what I desire. And if there's a lot of resistance, if I'm truthful with myself and willing to look at it, then I can see that I'm getting more of what I desire. So yeah, for me, it's like, it's a good indicator that I'm going in the direction that I desire. And also it's fun. It's like, wow, there's this, like we're living this, like a full-scale video game with resistance. I don't know. It's just kind of interesting to me. And instead of like thinking about it as trauma and drama, just like I'm stuck in this reality, whatever, and I just got to do what I got to do. But no, it's like we can have different tools to play and see if we can be the highest scorer this time around and see what happens. It's just there's something light in the idea of making it a game for me. That before it was real serious about trying to get ahead and be a good person and all those things that show up anyway, but that's not the focus. It's just really going after what you desire. And the resistance also I want to talk about is what is it that you're really resisting in your life that if you were to choose it would really make you happy? What is it that really just lights you on fire and just sparks you to get up in the morning and move forward and just barrel through the day with so much excitement? And every one of us has that. And I think the more we discover and ask for what that is, the more resistance really doesn't have a chance, even though it's still there. So what is it? What's required of you today to allow the awareness of what truly would light up your life? And everything that doesn't allow that, will you destroy and uncreate all that times Godzillion, please?
Right and wrong, good and bad, puck and pot, all nine shorts, pause and beyond. And if you follow resistance without asking question, you are, as you said, self-sabotage yourself.
Yeah.
And and you talk a bit about it. It's trauma and drama. You are feeding the resistance when you do this. And the resistance will appear another mask when you doubt of yourself, when you have fear, and when you self-criticism.
Yep.
Yeah, you are in resistance of yourself here. And it's impossible. And other characteristic of the resistance, it's impossible to reason resistance. There's no way you can. The only thing it desires, its own power. There's nothing about you. It's not there to help you. It's not there to tell, hey, maybe it's not the time. No, there's no caring about the resistance. It has nothing to do with you. So this is why it's so important to ask questions here.
Yeah.
And it's not about resisting to resistance.
Right.
Being in reaction to resistance.
Right.
It's about being aware. Okay, is it resistance here? Yeah. Okay, this is resistance. This is not true. This is something that is there. It's just an energy in place. So what do I choose for me now? Yeah, that's another way for you to be in relationship with this resistance. It's about to deal with it, learn to deal with it, and asking question, gaining the awareness of your question will help you move forward with ease. Yeah. So what would it take for you to, instead of resisting resistance, that you allow it to be there and still choose for you? And everything that doesn't allow that, uncreate and destroy it all times a Godzillion.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and puck, all short scores and beyonds. And what would it take to use resistance to your advantage as a way to propel yourself forward? And everything that doesn't allow that, will you destroy and uncreate all that times a Godzillion?
Yes.
Right
and wrong, good and bad, puck and pot, all nine shorts, pause and beyonds.
Hey, we're not resisting in our wardrobe today. We almost have the same tone of color. That's cool.
Yeah.
Blending.
Yeah. Do you have anything else you would like to add?
No, I think that's good for me. I really like the topic today, and I hope maybe we'll explore this further another time. I don't know. It's just there's so much juice with this one that I really like. Maybe we should do a class on it sometime. Maybe we'll do that.
Yeah. What would it take?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thanks, guys, for joining us on this half-hour show, and check out our website, happyhumanoids.com, for previous episodes. We have some product and some upcoming events on our calendar section, as well as some other things that we do as well. So thanks again for showing up, and yeah, be an allowance of resistance and choose for you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening, and please give us a honk of support by subscribing, commenting, and sharing the show with your friends. Or, if you didn't like the show, please share it with your enemies. Thanks. See you next time.
Bye-bye, everyone.